Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in our Victoria 3 run as the Great Qing in patch 1.9.6. We got ourselves in a little bit of pickle. We're in the middle of two different wars. One I think we're going to win, and one I think we will at least fight to a white peace. It appears that Great Britain has beat us in the rush to Persia. That may be an issue with oil in mid-game, mid-late game. But we should be able to take the rest of rest of my internal goals here in the Near East. Well, our Near East. And to be fair, depending on how the Russia front goes, we may be able to do the Persia thing. Obligation, if we go back them in no, I'm 2 wars already. I'm too busy. And, like, you can do everything, right? It's like, I am the world's greatest power, but I'm not that good. There we go, transferred Siam. So, most of our army traveling to Indochina. The front I care about is actually Persia. Go run over to Persia. Push that front, will be in good standing. I'm somewhat surprised we don't see the British being Britishy with their fleets. Oh, actually, no. We do see the British being Britishy with their fleets. There's the British fleet. Never mind. Don't go running off. We're gonna wait until they pass into our territory, I think. Let's send you to the HQ. Same with you. Should be a valid transfer order there. At least as soon as they arrive, it should be. Okay, without the malices, we should be able to hold and stop those naval landings. If we do that, we should be able to get the British to go to white peace, because they can't apply the transfer will go without either landing us or Dainam. Dainam, I don't think, is in this war. Yeah, Dainam is not in this war. So they have to land... Oh no, Dainam is in this war, so they could try to land Dainam instead. Liberate Persia, enforce investment rights. Liberate Persia, I think we only need to take over Persia's capital. That shouldn't be too hard. Russia's working towards that. Investment rights is a little bit harder. Can we get an idea of what that is? Control a New Brunswicker state or British home counties. Brunswicker state is a valid one. I think it's a little bit more than that for the apply investment rights. Oh, it's implied investment right because it's on New Brunswick. That makes sense. That's an odd, specific spot to get some investment rights on. That might be, once we get our fleets together, something we could land. So this might be a war we can win. It's just not going to be a war we win quickly. And honestly, I'd like to liberate Persia, because then we can protectorate Persia. But if I don't get that, that's not the end of the world. Can live without it. Oh, the British landing. First one of the British landings failed. It's not surprising, because there's hundreds of guys to stop them. Okay, so we got like 60 weeks before the Russians are going to go home. If we control Persia at the end of that, we can force the liberate Persia. Otherwise, we're probably going to want to take White Peace. Moderate, traditionalist, authoritarian. I'll take the moderate. And then did I get lucky and get like a military guy to replace him? Oh. Well, armed forces, I mean. They're all military guys because they're admirals, but... we'll look into that. The French Republic here, they want us to revoke the investment rights, which is no longer binding. Yeah, we'll look into that. Yeah. Just gonna withdraw from this treaty. Honestly... Oh, I have to so I have to reduce them down from great power. They can't be great power. We're gonna take that from take it back from that way. Okay, we haven't achieved liberate Persia because we haven't finished occupying the state there yet. One of the previous generals had a little bit more troop capacity, so I'm over the limit. As the conscripts recruit up. Oop. Let's drag them home. Deal with that issue before it gets out of control. Crumbs. It's already out of control. They're not going to be back for a month. Russia's not going to accept white peace. Okay, so right now I can lose. So we got to be quick about this, otherwise I'm going to lose. Which, because I'm running the game quickly, I am leaving things on the table that I should be doing. Some warships. Military dock. Or, even if it's just because it's not hired up, we can subsidize it anyway. Those things when we in the running. Could probably reduce how much we're importing of iron. More so, let's think about coal. Coal's a consumer need, so it's easier to also export. Tools. 600 tools. Okay, we're gonna do the naval landing trick. Quickly try to take the territory back. Nope, that's not gonna work. Navy didn't form up quickly enough is what's happening here. So to stop this, I need the British Navy to move away, which isn't going to happen. Or we need to liberate Kandahar, which isn't going to happen. Take a partial? No. I'm half tempted to go reload the save. It was only 10-13 minutes ago. Because this is definitely a war that we could have won. If I was paying a little bit more attention and didn't... I got greedy, I sent the troops over to Persia and I shouldn't have done that. Because then we didn't have anyone here to stop the landing. I don't want to handle this. You know what? We'll see if this clears in the load. I'll go ahead and just reload that treaty. Reload the last save. I did do a save between part 3 and part 4. Well, this is part 4. So we'll go load that one up. Should have put the save. Should have put another save in between part 2 and 3. Okay, so we're back here. Already queued up that Navy stuff. Okay. Working like chemical bleaching, 26 months out. Do a couple of stuff while we're waiting that I may have screwed up last time. One of which... non-fulfillment? Okay, so it's... that's what's going on. That's where that one's coming from, at least. We're declared interest on an available decision to remove the ban, but we're still benefiting it from the ban, so let's keep the ban going. Oh, the other thing I was going to do is subsidize the ports, the military shipyards. And we're not coming to help you when we're in 2 other wars. There we go, there's the Siam one. We got those naval landings from before. This time, once again, we can go ahead and move the armies over to the area. Okay, this time we're not going to run over to Persia. No other reason I think us going over there didn't help in practice. Yeah, we'll just fight to the stowaway piece. Because the Navy's not quite there, and it's not going to be there for a while to do the naval landing we need to win. And then here we have more declared interest. Yeah, 2 more. Where do I want these to go? Say Brazil, Mexico. Oh, they're just willing to take a deceive from us. Okay. Because we're scared. That works for me. Definitely gonna have to sort out a way to lower costs. Part of that, I suppose, might be the military wages and stuff. We're mobilized for war, so we got lots of guys up and about doing stuff. Yeah, conscription is like half the military good cost. Conscription is half the military wages. So yeah, when we stop being at war, the budget will fix itself. Where we're at. I think once the Russian war support goes below 0, we'll be able to negotiate a white peace. So we just need to keep these guys here until then, so that we can get that white peace. I think this is far more important to control these than to control the Persia. Oops, I'm not building anything. That's what I get for playing on high speed and not paying enough attention. Coal. Like 1.2 thousand coal. 1.2 thousand coal. So 20 coal mines. 20 domestic coal mines. Same sort of thing with iron. Get 20 domestic iron mines. Because we're subsidizing those, right? I don't know. Go ahead and subsidize those so they'll be able to outcompete the trade centers. I'll swap us back over. And then I think we'll encourage... Well, not necessarily encourage, but allow freedom on these. And then we'll go ahead and build wood. Yeah, we've got plenty of stuff to build. Build our stuff. Russia's almost willing to take white peace. Oh. Why did you suddenly get much more willing to... The mad lads in Russia have done it. They've got enough of Persia and got enough of New Brunswick, apparently. Ah, well, that would be enough. The home counties would be enough, yeah. Yeah. Like, why are they not willing to accept white... Why do they get far more resistant to accepting white peace? The answer is because they're winning the war. They're very much on the... If we're winning, why should we... Oops, don't give them what we... Don't give them our stuff. Take their stuff. We've liberated Persia. Transit rights for power block embassy. Sure. Oh, I haven't negotiated those treaties yet. Or did I? Oh, I did. There. We're waiting for the 5 or so years so that we can go ahead and make you a member. Okay, well, other than the reload there to make it a thing, that was I think, a good war. Okay, we're not quite oh no, we're profitable-ish. Around about the right level. We're gonna want to get more profitable so I can drop taxes. Because when sovereignty inserted goes away, we do want to go back to normal taxes as soon as possible. But the solution there is try to switch away from an import economy to an export economy, least of the raw goods. We've got lots and lots and lots and lots of people who need jobs, and the mines and lumber mills and such are adequate places for them to get jobs. There's chemical bleaching. Do I want to do nitroglycerin, or do I want to go over to society techs? We'll get nitro. Yeah, nitro. And then power block-wise, I do have another mandate. Let's try to push up for this company. We'll do the United Construction Conglomerate this run. And then I suppose from our state of fairly high strength, well, we'll ignore the fact that Kandahar is not particularly happy that they were occupied. Go and swap you over to Puppet. So the bigger problem here is we may get poked at by Kandahar asking for things. Somewhat surprised Kandahar doesn't have control over its own market anyway. Nice, but yeah, let's give them their own market. They want their own market. Let's give it to them. Okay, there's the mines. Onto the lumber mills. And to be fair, we could probably build more mines. There's definitely more demand for iron, more demand for coal. Yeah, right now I kind of like the Russians a little bit more than we normally do, so can you not piss the Russians off? Or not be pissed off about the Russians, also. One of the two. New mandate. Let's go ahead and grab construction 3. So I think we're done. When we're done with the tech here, we're probably gonna grab corporate charters and pick up that company. if it hasn't spread to us. We'll do corporate charters, modern sewage. Nope, forgetting, we just got paper bleaching. Bleaching. Could also go over to... no, we got enough paper for the moment. We don't have enough of a glass demand to really warrant that. Okay, let's lower the taxes a bit. Again, in preparation for the fact that we're eventually going to have to... In fact, I probably want to do it sooner rather than later, because this is 12 weeks before this kicks off. That's going to lower our legitimacy. Not that the current government's not legitimate, but... Anyone going to come in here? Either side. Predicted to be no. Let's get in there. What do you want some states, don't you? You want some specific states. Yeah. Let me guess, you become their protectorate. So that would be the ultimate annoyance. No. Okay. So I could sway the Russians back to my side for one itsy-bitsy state, but I don't want to do that. So we're gonna have to slap the Russians around until the Russians go home. As long as no other complicated wars get involved, I think we'll be fine. Central archives. I suppose the bureaucracy I just built I don't need to do, because we're going to sort that problem with central archives, but... Still baking soda. Baking soda, okay. So, fractional distillation. So we do the patent still. Working on nitroglycerin. Probably canneries into mechanical wouldn't be too bad, but I think we're going to jump to the society next for that company. On sewage. Dielectrics. Well, granted, dielectrics is going to spread to us pretty quickly. That still's on you. We'd make less groceries, which isn't particularly great. We'd be making so much more liquor that apparently it'd be profitable. So we'll do the first level. Oh, the patent stills is this one. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to go to patent stills. Pot stills, yes. Patent stills, no. Okay, so it's me versus enforced transit rights. Okay, so we're just gonna win. That's what's gonna end up happening. So we're just gonna get Kabul to surrender, and then Russia doesn't have anything to fight for, so send them home pretty easily. There we go. So in theory, I now have access to you, so you wouldn't be so opposed to being dragged back into the market, I think. Okay, the wood's down. I'd probably encourage some wood exports by lowering the subventions, but we're also just getting exports anyway. You want to get transfer rights from me? I give you power block. Sure. And I get investment rights, which is and isn't good for me. Almost there. 196. Gonna accept. You're actually pretty low. Why are you not? Why are we not here? Ah, because we're displacing Russian leverage. That's what's happening. We're facing Russia in that one. Whereas we're not in Bukhara here. Or maybe we are in Bukhara. No, we're not. That's why we're much more powerful here. Resulting in 196. Expected 196. If the infamy went down, and the infamy is going down, it'll come around. Okay. Oh, making a lot less money. Probably government goods. Yeah, it's probably the paper. Paper prices probably went up again, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's what we're queuing up the wood. Turn the wood into the paper, apparently. 41, 42 paper mills. Try to get a little more economy of scale there by building where we already have. Bulk trading, okay. I haven't updated the PMs for the place we just took over, that's why that's happening. That stuff here that hasn't been swapped. Nitroglycerin. explosives. Should probably build some explosives. Probably shouldn't do that as a hard transition, though, until it's up in the queue, at least. And then I'll have to import it. Which maybe I should just import some. Yeah, let's start with the gold mines. The gold mines are reasonably profitable, and apparently they're just profitable even if I just do that. Yeah, I was expecting a shortage of explosives. Take me to the explosives, yes. There we go. Establish an embargo against Persia. We'll look into this. Okay, could move... Oh, and we've got some explosive factories in the zone. Let's swap some of this stuff over to explosives. Nitro, or swap this one for explosives. Okay, let's go ahead and do the next one. Coal mines. Again, we're gonna have to wait for the trade centers to unend our shortage, but they should be able to do that. Got plenty of trade centers, I think. I say, and then they're taking their sweet time doing it. Oh, hello, Bush chat. Hello, fun fact, one of the things I realized when playing China is that you should grow opium instead of banning it. I'm still of the argument that you should probably ban it. At least for like the first 20 years of the game. So I'm actually at the point in the game where I should unban it. So let's quickly unban it. I suppose one of the ways you could play is, I think if you give like investment rights to Great Britain right away, it won't trigger the Opium Crisis. And if you can skip the Opium Crisis, then it might be fine not banning it. But the one problem with sticking on opium is if you build up opium plantations, is a lot of your places that can grow opium are rice paddies. So you actually unemploy 5,000 people every opium farm you make, or every opium plantation you make. Okay, I need to expand construction because the civilian sector wants more stuff to build. Which I suppose that's actually a really good sign, is that the civilian sector wants to grow faster than I'm able to grow it. Is always a good sign when that happens. Seven things in the queue. That's with more construction, so I might even need to continue to expand more. Yeah, probably need to expand. Well, actually, no, we might be just about speed, so we'll hold off for a moment. So, Twitch chat, you can go rewind to the beginning of the video. I got through the Opium Crisis without having a war. Like, at all. Like, we got the Opium Crisis to go by in 5 years with no war. And then we were able to get the buff from succeeding in the Opium Crisis. Like, if you... I think basically the price there was... What, that was, giving Hong Kong to the French. Like... The reason I leave the opium ban is because, yeah, we don't really want to have an opium session, because then they're going to want to build opium plantations, which is going to unemploy a bunch of people. And we already have pretty severe unemployment issues. Like, it's a way you can play if you're not so good at the war aspect of the game. And I'm not very good at the war aspect of the game, and I'm good enough to handle the war if it happens. Or the diplomacy. So I did diplomacy to get a defensive pact with the French. It might be a little bit hard at the moment to go it alone, but yeah, no, it's still fairly easy to get through the Opium Crisis without having to capitulate to the British. And then you don't have the skew towards opium, which is something that, as China is, you're not going to have enough. You're not going to have enough. Like, China has a lot of massive production, but unless you cause a massive unemployment problem, you're not going to have enough opium. Now that we're no longer obsessed with it, we have enough. But then that's because I probably have a shortage of rich people. So we don't actually have a good demand for luxuries that isn't meat and fruit. I should probably go around and deal with treaties at some point. Gave out a lot of treaties I don't need anymore, right? So we can take the investment rights back from the French, so on and so forth, yeah. And once I do this, I can go ahead and stop. I can start nationalizing or privatizing stuff again. I'm not worried about it going to foreigners. Okay, okay. Let's see. Probably wanted to focus on trying to expand my... Well, expand the construction of things that I am importing, so I stop importing them. It's probably the quickest way to raise the GDP. Exporting hardwood, exporting a little bit of regular wood. Am I subsidizing? Trade centers? Okay. That makes sense. It's probably going to go more and more common as I try to fix the imports. You see, that's all stuff that I actually disagree with mostly. So Twitch chat saying the three problems of China are inadequate administration, which, yeah, there's just not enough bureaucracy, but we've solved that at this point. And it's probably, you don't necessarily need more funding for that, you just need to solve it. It's just construction. Almost no industry, which, once you get off of isolationism, you can import what you need to sort of jumpstart that. And low education, you can kind of just force with universities. We've built 100 universities, which is enough. More would be penalized by isolationism. There's a couple different ways I can get tech spread up, which is what we'll do. So Twitch chat is implying, oh, I should fund that with Opium, except we're on land-based taxation, which is a flat tax on land and a consumption tax. The flat tax on land is a flat tax. Actually, swapping over to plantations reduces that tax income. In previous patches, like 1.8, this also had an income tax component. So then it was much more profitable to just raise income. There's no income tax on this anymore. Now, at some point, we're going to want to get off of it, and then we'll have an income tax. So, and that's actually the reason we're going to want to get off of it, is to have an income tax. Right now, the only percentile tax that actually grows with our economy is the consumption tax. That's something we need to be slightly aware of, is that our taxes are not really going up unless demand for things go up. And, well, I suppose also the supply of those things, right? So that's actually one of the problems. In fact, this is something I should do. It's because we have banned... Oh, well, we had opium banned. It's no longer banned, but the profitability of it has actually gone down. So I should probably actually put my consumption tax down on tobacco. Although it is probably... Yeah. So it's still fine to run opium consumption tax here, but this is one of the few taxes which is something can raise, but this is more demand-driven than supply-driven. Raising the supply of opium isn't necessarily going to help there. But yeah, so more off, you probably, as China, just need to raise your taxation capacity, which is a little bit of trying to get down into like central archives. There's the flat tax in central archive, or the flat taxation capacity in central archives. Standard filing has higher taxation capacity than the previous one. Filing cabinets. And so on and so forth. So there's other ways to improve it than stick on the opium. And in many ways, I think the transition I did over the logging, which is mass logging, is probably better for taxation revenue. Because it provides people with more jobs. Instead of more unemployment. We want to avoid unemployment. Want things that build fast and generate jobs, not cause more unemployment. I think is China. There's a new mandate. Probably time to swing education system in. So we'll go ahead and grab advanced research. And then, can I get a law commitment off of someone? Like, say, Russia for education. Religious schools. Let's not do religious schools. Can we get public schools would be the way I'd really like to go. Yeah, 25. French Republic do like public schools. And then just pay the French Republic off. Nice trade privileges, yeah. 92% chance to accept. They do. Oh. Screwed up, I forgot, we're Great Power. So one of the patch changes is you don't get anything. You don't get any commitment progress for the same tier as the person you're trying to get it from. Yeah, that was a me mistake. So we have to wait until industrialists get powerful enough to get education, I think, for practical purposes. Because no one but the industrialists care about it for the moment. Okay, so that was a bit of a waste of an effort. Whoops. We've made more paper and we need more paper. Okay. Well, we have to take a -5 or -7, so we'll just take -7. Like, you're already applying a -5 to them. For our standard living, that's basically everything, so you might as well just apply the full terrible amount. There's our corporate charter. Could go paper. I don't have the DLC, so I don't have any prestige goods, which would be things would make things like tool workshops better. We do have the special one. There's the special one from. Should have the special one from the power block. Assuming he doesn't have a different requirement that I'm missing. This one. Building level greater than or equal to 10. At least of steel, tools, glassworks. Any Qing state has at least 10 tool workshops, basically. Okay. Beijing has 6. It's probably the closest we've got. 5. And I'm not going to bother with glasswork, so yeah, that's okay. Tools, probably the way we're going to go. Put 4 of these right on top of the queue. We need more tools anyway. South Africa wants me to support their independence. In exchange, I get a power block industry, power block embassy, and investment rights. You know what? Sure. No one I should be working on text. Take up modern sewage. I think I only need the 10 levels there. I don't need to give them all 10 levels. I think I only need to give them like 5 of the tooling workshop. Which will be good because I won't own all 10. There's dielectrics, which is going to give us even more tech, right? It's also going to raise the government expenses because it's a bunch of paper. Oh, I can start privatizing everything. So I can try to build up the industrialists a bit more. Oh no, privatize the paper mills. It's the tool workshops I don't want to privatize right now. We are going to privatize them eventually, just not right now. Okay, so with that, I probably have enough. The fact that it's not sitting here right at the top probably does mean it is. There we go. Add a construction conglomerate. 20% construction throughput if we can keep it prosperous. And now, I don't have the DLC, so for company charters, the only thing I get to hand out is trade rights. We will go ahead and hand it out, because we've got more charters than we have companies. And we only have one thing to hand out per company, so we'll let it buy up some trade centers. And we'll see if it can actually get its bonus going. Okay, apparently we got a little bit of glitch here with some of the things not disappearing like they should be. Add a country to the power block. Of course, it doesn't show me where that country is. Man wars are expensive. That's probably fine. Want to get? Yeah, we do want to make paper cheaper. Could decrease the autonomy of Siam. That is true. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. This is some of the other countries, other puppets, but I'll be fine. You want trade privileges, I get investment rights, and I sell you tobacco. sure. I'm not too worried about the tobacco. I'm getting the trade privileges, to be fair. So this is all for the drawback of investment rights, which maybe I don't want, but it's Austria. I can always pull the Austria later for the trade rights back. The nationalization back. Okay. Well, it has been about an hour, and I did a better job earlier in the run here of keeping the parts short, so I should probably go ahead and put a part break in here. And I'm probably only recording 4 parts tonight, so this is probably the last part for the night. We're definitely off to the races with getting the GDP going. We had a couple issues with Great Britain that in theory hopefully won't in the future have, because we've got the Navy pretty much built up. Persia's free again, so at some point we might want to try subjugating Persia. What might be the case is I might want to wait until we can get civilizing mission down here for the infamy cost reduction to Protectorate Persia. Yeah. So we're going to get monitored sewage. It's probably the next thing we're going to get. Both for the pollution health effects reduction and the weekly construction progress. Then I might actually hold off on doing more in Society Tree for a bit. There's definitely some good techs in here, like central banking for the minting. And at some point we're going to want to get into mutual funds. But all the stuff in here we're not desperate for. Whereas there's definitely some really nice stuff also in the production tree. Qing, because Qing has a special company that I think gets unlocked with, might be steam donkeys, it might be home jacks. Let me check. But we got a special potential company that has tech spread on it. No, I didn't know they farm one provided tech spread as well. Might be tempting to actually do that then. But that's not the one I'm thinking of. Find it. It might be in the wrong tab. Recognize the logo when I find it. Under Attainable? Might be under Attainable. There we go. Taiping Mining Company. This is a coal one, which we're going to do a lot of coal. We're going to do lots of railroads, so those are nice. This is tech spread. So as long as we keep the railroads and the coal mines reasonably profitable, and there's ways to do that for us. Get that activated, 10% tech spread will be real nice, with especially with our level or high level of overcap here. It'll help set off some of our drawbacks that we have to tech spread. Which is censorship, right? So it'd be a flat offset of censorship. Which in this case would be like 6, 7 more innovation in each of the trees. So it's like 21 innovation just from having that company bonus. So it's not bad to get that company bonus. And it's not a bad company. Coal's pretty nice. And railways are okay. I believe it's just competing against other railway companies, and that's not too hard to do. Whereas, look at our current one. Our current one's actually struggling a little bit more because steel is not particularly profitable this early on. Glass isn't very profitable. We don't even have the best glass one on right now. No, I can maybe improve that a little bit. You're probably in a state where we could get the lead going, I suppose. Yeah, but we're not going to do that this one. So yeah, this is where I'm going to go ahead and end this part in this stream. So I hope you've been enjoying if you've been watching. If you're watching on YouTube, there probably will be another part up for you by tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, we are going to record sort of following the normal schedule, so there's going to be 4 parts recorded every session. and I do a different game every night. So this was the Victoria 3 night. Tomorrow will be Shadow Empires. The day after that will be Grand Tactician Civil War. The day after that will be the Long Dark, and then the day after that will be us back around on Victoria 3 here. Where I think we'll be off to the races here with getting the GDP going. I wouldn't be surprised if we have more GDP than we did on 1.9.5 at this point, because it's been a bit more of a smooth start. We've been going RGO expansion instead of the autarky that I was doing a little bit last time. I didn't make the same mistake of spamming the trade centers everywhere. And you can see I only built one everywhere, but there's definitely places where it's profitable because it's been building more. In fact, actually, that might be something to build, is build more ports for more merchant marines. Because apparently that's getting a bit expensive. And if that's getting a bit expensive, that means we've got desire to trade, which is good. In fact, it might almost be worth building this until we can have like net import and exports on that as well. Because right now that's Clippers. Clippers is reasonably good to produce. We've got enough wood being made right now that we're actually exporting it. We could definitely turn that into Clippers. We might even have a tech production. Well, not yet, but we could eventually get onto reinforced wooden ships, which should give us Clippers. Are we in the military tree? I'm surprised. Is that Screw Frigate? Yeah, that's Screw Frigate. So that's in the potential spread soon here in the military tree. Skirmish infantry. There might be some. Maybe we might pop in here in a couple techs. Try to get percussion screw frigates going quickly. That'll allow us to do the army upgrade. That's about to spread to us with the skirmish. Screw is just better boats. Better boat production, I say. Not necessarily better boats, I suppose. So yeah, hope you've all been enjoying. Yeah, I think the run's going well. There's definitely bits where the run could have gone better. There's a couple different times where we had to put the brakes on to not go severely into debt. And we're in a little bit of debt here, but this is not too bad. This is something I could probably actually stop being in debt by, say, stopping the subsidies of the trade centers or something. Which would, in theory, allow the bad ones to downsize. Whereas right now, in theory, we're paying for the bad ones. And we do have, like, one everywhere, so there's some places where it's going to be bad. Like, here's not particularly great, and we can tell it's not very great because it's not trading anything. Though it's not trading anything probably because the merchant marine is expensive, so if I drop the merchant marine cost or something, it might make it work. We'll see in the next one. So, yeah, hope you all have been enjoying. Until next time, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or next stream, and bye for now.